Hi everyone. Today we're going to be going through a tour of Infinite Campus's online registration for South Huntington schools. So when you reach this screen, you're going to pick your preferred language. And at this screen, you can either start a new registration, meaning you have not registered already for this school year, or you can return to a saved registration. So that's key to know because this whole process does not have to be done in one sitting, although it can be done if you'd like. So here is a registration that I've already started. We're going to review it over here. So it takes you to the main screen. Once you log in, you have your application number over here. And just keep in mind, this is all fake data. So what we require is one proof of age. So an acceptable form of documentation can be a birth certificate, a baptismal record, or a passport, including a foreign passport. You also need to include three of the following documents that verify residency in our district. If you own a home or have a lease, you'll need one of the following. Or if you do not own a home or have a lease, you're going to have to complete both of these documents. Item number 5 is other documentation needed depending on special circumstances. So that might be guardianship, custody, emancipation, homelessness, court placement, foster care, or adoption. Item number 6 is the items that must be completed for registration, such as the home language questionnaire, a transfer record form if your child is transferring from a different district, the special needs questionnaire, giving consent. Item 7 is the health documentation that we'd like to collect on our students, so information on health services, certificate of immunization, dental health certificate, and a health examination form. And then some other things that we'd like you to have on hand is some household information, such as the address and phone numbers, parent and guardian information, such as a work and cell phone number and email addresses, student information, additional documents, perhaps if your child already has an IEP plan or a 504 plan, or report cards or transcripts from a previous school. And emergency contacts, you can include a maximum of 3 phone numbers. So I'm just going to press next over here. And this first field is the student's primary household. So these are all aspects of information that relate to the student's household. So the primary number, if there's no home number, you can enter the parent or guardian's contact phone number who's most likely to respond. And again, it can be a cell phone number. You'll enter your home address. So the street number goes here, followed by north, south, east, or west if that applies. The street name only. So this address is 60 Weston Street. So Weston goes on the street name only. Street is the direction. North, south, east, west. Again, you have options over here, and apartment if that applies. City, state, and zip. And if your address appears in this box, you're going to select it. Over here, we have ownership responsibility for home. So do you own a home? Yes. If you own a home, those are the uploading supports that you're going to have to submit. So either a current month's mortgage statement, a deed, or a current tax bill. And the verification of residency, those are some items that you're going to have to supply 3 acceptable documents here. And I'm going to press save and continue, which will bring us to the next section, which is all about the parent or guardian. So the parent or guardian who first started this application is going to be the parent that's listed up here. So I'm just going to show you what this looks like in edit and review mode. The first name is Rebecca, last name Banner. We have a birth date, gender, and language. And you're going to place a check here if that parent or guardian lives at that address, that student address that we listed in the student's primary household section. We can list the cell phone number, work number, other phone number, and email address here. If there's a secondary email address, you would list that here. And then there are some contact preferences, and those can be read over here to include what sort of communication that you would be receiving. and then a question about a migrant worker status. And again, if you wanted to add a new parent or guardian, you would use this button, but I went ahead and added the Father Brian banner over here. In the next section, this is the emergency contact section. You can have a maximum of 3 contacts. So we have Stephen Rogers, Clint Barton, and Sam Wilson as the 3 emergency contacts. I'll show you what this section looks like. It is required that you include the first name and last name. Birth date is optional, and gender is required. Phone number is required, at least 1. You can also include an email address. And the verification, does this person live at the student's address at 60 Weston Street, or does this person live at a different address? So this person, this emergency contact, lives at 61 Weston Street. And we'd press save and continue, and I would add the next 2 emergency contacts that apply. In the next section, this is called Other Household, and these are family members, including children or siblings that are not enrolled in school. So we have Natasha and Anthony over here. They are 1-year-old twins. They are not of school age, so that's why we're including them in the Other Household section and not the student section yet, because they are not eligible to go to school. So to review what this section looks like, it kind of looks similar to the emergency contact section, where you're going to include first name, middle name, last name, suffix, birth date, and gender. And if you needed to add a new household member, a child that's not currently enrolled in one of our schools, this is the area that you would do this. So you'd press this button. But now I'll get to the student section. So over here we have 1 student, and for our purposes, this student is going to be enrolling for kindergarten. So the student is not transferring from a previous school. They're enrolling in kindergarten. So we're going to include the legal first name and last name as required, a nickname if that applies, a student cell phone number, but this child is far too young to have a cell phone number. We're going to include the gender, birth date, and birth country, foreign exchange status, and the enrollment grade. So again, this student is kindergarten age, but if you needed more clarification on what preschool and universal pre-K is, you can read about that over here. And you're only going to respond to this non-public school transportation or parental homeschooling as a yes if you were requesting it. But in our situation, it's going to be a no. We're also going to submit some proof of age for our student, David. And the confirmation of residential custody. So this child resides with both parents, but you have the option to say either the mother only, the father only, or the child resides with a legal guardian or custodian. And the next question that is required is your child involved in a custody situation? And if there is a legal circumstance, please reach out to your building principal upon enrollment. The next section is on race and ethnicity. So is Hispanic or Latino is the first question, and then the race ethnicity, you can check all that apply. Housing, so determining what sort of housing your student has. Is it temporary housing, or does your student reside in permanent housing? Student services, so new entrant screening is, does the child have a current IEP? Does the child have a current 504 plan? Has your child previously received gifted or talented services? Because this child is entering kindergarten, none of these apply. If there was special needs questionnaire giving consent, you would do that over here. The form is here. It's all hyperlinked, so it would open up in a new window, and you can complete it and fill it out in this section of the form. And if you answered yes to any of these above questions, please have your current documents uploaded here. This way the team can review it. Language information. In what language would you like to receive information from the school? We'd like to receive language information in English. Has your child ever received English as a new language service? No, again, this is a kindergarten student, so has not received that sort of service. And the home language questionnaire, which is over here, I'll show you what it looks like. Anything in blue is going to be hyperlinked. So it'll open up in a new tab. You can print this out or complete it as a PDF if you have PDF editing on your computer, and you would upload it at this location. Language programs. So again, the student is enrolling for kindergarten. So your options here are going to be, I would need more information about the dual language program. I would like my child to be enrolled in the dual language program, or you do not want your child to participate. So I need some more information for this example, but you can call Cecilia Blanco, who is our ESL dual language coordinator, at this phone number, 631-812-3125. Previous school, again, if the student is enrolling in the district and has previously attended a different school, this is the section you would complete. It is also required that you answer this question: is your student currently suspended or expelled from another school? And if there is a transfer record form, this is the spot that you would upload this. And if you have a report card or transcript, this would be the button or the area that you would upload that document. The relationships for the parent or guardian. So over here, this is immediately gone to blank, but we went in and we said that Rebecca Banner is the mother, the natural slash adoptive parent, and the father again. And they're both listed as guardians. They both want mailing. They both want to be able to create a portal and have access to Messenger. The contact sequence is who is going to be contacted first. So we'll say Rebecca wants to be contacted first and Brian will contact second, but some more descriptions of contact preferences can be found down here. And then reviewing our emergency contacts. We have Clint, Stephen, and Sam. So what is their relationship to the student? They are the uncle, friend, or uncle of. And again, we've edited the contact sequences here. So third would be Clint, fourth would be Stephen, Sam would be fifth, but you have the option to change. The relationships, the other households, these were the children that were not yet school aged. Natasha is David's sister and Anthony is David's brother. And the health services or medical information section. So who is the primary care or the pediatrician provider and what is their phone number? So we have Dr. Donald Blake over here and the phone number that he could be reached at. And then we have some questions about health history and understanding your child's needs. So you're answering yes or no next to each health condition. So we go from allergies all the way down to other health condition that you can explain. And all of these questions are required. We also have, if you selected yes, please give details. We want to have that information on hand. And does your child receive any medications on a regular basis? This child, David, does not. So for any additional questions, please contact your child's school nurse. The next section is on some forms and an area for you to submit the health services information. So we have the health services information, the certificate of immunization, required New York State school health examination form, the dental health certificate, and the administration of medicine in school area over here. Next up is free and reduced lunch. So keep in mind, we're still accepting applications, or My School Apps is still accepting applications for the 21-22 school year, but students who are registering for the next school year as of February 1st for the 22-23 school year, you'll be able to apply to My School Apps in August of 22. This is our computer and technology internet use agreement. So you definitely want to take a second to read through that and agree. And same thing with Infinite Campus Parent or Guardian Portal. You're going to read through this information and see what it has to offer and agree with that as well. And then technology. So the South Huntington School District provides students in grades K through 5 with their own Chromebooks to use in school and to take home when necessary. Students in grades 6 through 12 will be given a device to bring back and forth from school and home daily. So, based on that information, you'll answer these questions and press save and continue. Now we're at the last step. We are at the completed step over here. So, we're going to save and continue if there's no other children that we need to add. In order for the school district to see your application, you must press this red submit button. If you don't press it, no one will be notified. So this piece is really crucial. Please make sure you press submit. And if you have any questions at all, please feel free to reach out to the registration office.